been around 6 months since Guild Wars 2 launched its Living World initiative, and in that time we've encountered the dastardly Molten Front, secrets at South Sun, and most recently Sky Pirates. The aim was to create a constantly evolve interior that players can both impact and always find new challenges in. But just how successful has this process been? We sat down with the game's lead content designer Mike Zadorojny to talk about how and why the idea to update the game this way came about.
We started with a very small team and basically told them, hey, look, we want to build a compelling story within the world. We want to add on to these things and figure out what we can do to kind of really revitalize the game and make it really a living world. Where this comes from is like we did the dynamic events for launch, and this was our version of iterating on the traditional quest system from an MMO. The idea of a living world is kind of the holy grail for MMOs. If you can build content at a consistent rate that keeps players engaged and they're enjoying the atmosphere, then they enjoy the world and they enjoy being there and being social with it as well.
Up until this point, Guild Wars 2 has been receiving updates every 3 weeks, though ArenaNet now plans to reduce the wait for players to just a fortnight. It's an ambitious task, but internal restructuring means the company is confident it'll manage.
Originally with just one team, obviously it was a lot of work. We've actually separated out, so there's 4 teams that are working on this content now, and we give them about 4 months to kind of from start to finish with a little bit of overlap from previous months. So like the team that is working on the Dragon Bash and the Sky Pirate stuff right now is going to roll over, and they're going to be working on the October, November stuff next. MMOs aren't a sprint. It's not like you get to the point you ship the game, you're done. It's a marathon. You got to keep going. You got to keep supporting the game. You got to engage the players and get them really excited about what you're working on.
The next major release for the game, Bazaar of the Four Winds, is scheduled to go live on July the 9th. It'll see merchants converging from all corners of the world to sell their wares, all in the shadow of the mystical flying Zephyr Sanctum. New minigames including races and scavenger hunts will be added, along with the new quartz crafting material and Skyhammer PvP map. Additionally, the game's reward system is getting a revamp. New armor and weapon skins will now be unlocked as your hoard of achievement points grow, as well as permanent account bonuses. But while new patches are now set to deploy every 2 weeks, what does this mean for expansions? Mike admitted that the studio would much prefer to release new content through the model it's currently using, though didn't rule out box releases if it makes sense. In terms of what we'd see, the probability of a new race or profession is fairly high, but so are the currently unreachable lands of the original Guild Wars.
I would love to see us go back to Cantha and Elona. It's definitely, we've built a lot of, part of the reason why we did Guild Wars 2 as the next game that we did for ArenaNet was we wanted to build on that lore and that history that we built from the first game. There's some really cool stories. We wrapped up some things with Guild Wars Beyond, with the Winds of Change stuff that I'd love to see what, kind of how we solve those problems or what has happened over 250 years since we left them.
For everything else on Guild Wars 2, stay with us on IGN.